I have an affinity for the homeless. It's something deep,
Right.
Chip. Something deep that I sense. I don't know if it's like your character talks about. I'm afraid that
I might become you.
Yeah. Even right now. This
Well, I
second.
know. At any second, it feels like we can become all the safety nets that we have become accustomed to having. Family, housing, jobs, all medical, access to all of these things, education, we seem to think these things protect us from disasters. And that is a false sense of security. And it's a false sense, it's almost idolatry. We put our hopes and our trust in these kinds of things.
Well, like you said, it's people think it. It is a mindset that makes you think you're safe, from falling through the cracks until you meet someone like Johnny and get a relationship with him. Then you start seeing yourself.
That's exactly right.
Okay, now the mindset starts to shift. And I think people become afraid initially. And maybe Mark
it is scary.
Is afraid, but then something else. I think he was more afraid not to do something than afraid.
I think, and to me, that's courage. That's a thing of courage, that you acknowledge that you are afraid.
Absolutely.
And then, by God's grace, by whatever faith, courage, you muster that and begin to take one step forward. You don't necessarily rush into the breach. You cautiously move forward, and to me that's courage. That's a testimony or definition of courage.
I always tell people you have to be afraid before you can truly be brave, and that there is no courage without the presence of fear, and that triggers the courage, that the real fear. Because now what am I going to do? I have to do something.
That's where you want me to end it. I want you to say. What did you say, Oscar? I'm sorry, John. I say, don't kid yourself. People like us people like me may just be thinking about us. I'm sorry, Johnny. Our scars are different. And they start to go. And he goes, but that forgiveness, that's the same. Oh, okay.
I will try that.
Yes. Okay.
Because
write it down.
my whole thing
with,
Johnny goes that way, it's drugs. If you go that way, are you really abandoning this task that you have journeyed? And is this the first time you've confessed this out loud? What do you say?
It's not tight pools of life. Because space in the instruments, they're not tight pools of life, but they're a good 6 feet in diameter. And the guys are just a little bit taller than me, and I had to focus them on me. It flashes all the way back to here. It's kind of really isolating. Simplicity is arrogance.
You have to embody Johnny every night.
Yeah.
And that must be a pretty interesting emotional thing to go through.
I embody, I think Chip does too, the audience, that we embody America. It's really a reckoning. Every time we get on the stage, we have to deal with this intervention. This is what's happening in America today. And it's a call to action, after you get over the art of it, and maybe even the shame of it, the guilt of it. So, oh wait, we must do something. I think in America we're slow to take action to help people.
So we're about halfway through the tour now.
Right.
But what do you know now halfway through the tour you didn't know when we started?
Here's the one thing I don't like about what we've experienced so far is the feeling of being homeless. I like being in the same theater, knowing all the technology is going to work, knowing that in a sense, just having your ducks in a row, going to the same place, and being able to perform that way. I don't like going from theater to theater to different theater. In concept, it sounds cool. In practicality, for me, it's not.
Yeah.
That's the only downside. the character that I play, that's Mark, is certainly based on you as a person. However, you had to depart in a fictional way from it being exactly like you.
Right.
Why two questions. Why did you choose to depart that way, and how difficult was it to make that happen in relationship to Johnny's story?
I don't think it was difficult at all. It was, what I wanted to do is show two people who were broken on two different ends of the scale. When presented with the problem of having someone that could stand on the stage with a character like John, I had to give him a lot of backstory to make him dramatically satisfying. And so that's why that backstory is there. But then I thought, while I do that, he could have lots of things that could give him that. So what do we give him that allows him to be on stage with Johnny, dramatically satisfying, but also interesting as it relates to the other character? And that's where I came up with the idea of him being just as broken as Johnny, only coming from completely on the other end of the spectrum.
Good crowd today?
Good crowd today. Here we're at the next level.
Yeah, here's the next
The next level.
This is the second.
Right.
This is the second stop on our.
Stop number 2.
Stop number 2.
That's right.
How you feeling?
What to do.
How's everybody
We
feeling?
are hot. We are so hot.
We're so hot.
Officially, figuratively, or literally?
Both. We are so hot. People
Yeah.
are going to come out of their seats. We're going to make people sweat today.
Even though it's cool in there.
We have been all weekend we have made people sweat.
Yeah.
The work that we have done.
Yeah.
We've made them squirm. We've made them uncomfortable. We've made them sweat, which is all this, and we've made them laugh and cry too.
Yeah. You know what I got to tell you? You have 5 nuns in the audience.
5 nuns.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah. 5 nuns in the audience.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Hey, this is the finest dressing room money could buy.
Yeah.
Right, Chip?
And you must have run out of cash.
Box office for Stan. Working hard. Where are we? Lipscomb University. Doing our thing. Candace. All right, guys, we're doing our last night at Lipscomb. What are we thinking?
I think it's okay. I think it's a good
Yeah?
thing. It's a real good thing.
Feeling good?
It's a real good thing. See?
Oh, we turned it into a musical. Awesome.
At Lipscomb, you just call this choreography.
Yeah, you can't call it dancing.
At every place else, it's just dancing. It's called begging.
Begging. Tech Director Thomas.
I did some of that too, Jim.
What?
Remember at Lipscomb?
Yeah?
I was calling lights, running the sound, and shooting the video.
Yeah, baby. That's what we're all doing on this tour. Well, run, Forrest, run.
So we won't see you again.
You won't see me again.
Oh, so this is it.
5 minutes.
This is goodbye.
This is goodbye.
Wet my
I'm going out
newspaper.
here.
Don't make me wet my newspaper.
Okay.
You wet my
I'm going to do it right now.
Drench it.
You got it, buddy. What are you doing up there?
I'm just letting Thomas take my picture because he's got nothing else to do. Wasting my time
Don't-
taking my picture.
Thomas, are you going to make Chip do a Q to Q by himself up there right now before we
by
go?
myself. Forget about it. Where's Barry?
He's
asleep
sleeping.
on the sofa. You know, what is this? He gets the star treatment. I'm out here working.
That's right.
It's just not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. I'm
All
out.
right, you're out. I understand. Everybody decent in there?
We try to be.
Where are you guys now?
Some horse place. What, isn't it Churchill Downs?
No,
Or is
you've
it-
not left Tennessee, Chip. You're still in
it says something
Tennessee.
about a horse.
Oh, it's Wild Horse. No,
Wild horse.
No,
where we
that's
are.
Dark
The Wild
Horse.
House. Dark horse.
Horse, yeah,
As opposed to light horse.
yeah. Just about 10 miles from where we were last weekend.
10 miles.
The epic saga continues.
The epic saga. What is this, week 7?
Yes, sir.
Week 7.
7 or
8, because we got 4 more after this. Yeah.
Where are we?
8? On a mistake.
Where are we?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
We're right under the flight patterns of Delta, American, and U.S. Air. That's where we
Let's
are.
look up and say.
That's where we are. We're under the first flight.
Where are you, Thomas? We're at the Street Theater. Our second to last weekend of the Stamp Project tour.
Street.
We're taking it.
Street.
We are taking it to the
To the
street.
street
Taking it to the street.
theater.
Theater.
Yeah.
But see, when he chickened
I about fell out of my chair when I heard it.
when he chickened out on I went, okay.
But where did you come up
Now
with?
it's him. Well, see, I did the first night.
I know, I heard that.
And then the second night, I said, come on, because he's
I
dying laughing.
suggested it. My bad.
No. I mean, it was an improvement over anything. Was an improvement.
Oh my.
But I thought when he chickened out, and he didn't tell me. No.
Oh man.
Pancreas out of your and I went, you chicken. So, okay, I said,
The
well,
church, man.
okay. Then I got
But see, I had already approved all those,
You did?
every one of them.
In the church?
Yes.
even
Yeah. Were the two they let us have. The other ones they wouldn't let us have. And we changed those early.
So what happened this afternoon? We were
your
supposed to
dad,
interview with Channel 5.
Yeah,
What
Channel
happened?
5, you know.
And what
Where were they? Channel 5, I've never
Channel
heard
5
of them.
showed up, but you got here late.
No, I got here on time.
No, we got here on time.
But I was the only one here, and that's all they just talked to me.
Yeah, someone told me to be here at 2:30, man.
Yeah. Who was that who told
I
you
was
to
in
be
the
here
park.
at
I don't
2:30?
remember.
And then Channel
I don't
5
remember.
comes in and they do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I did a nice thing with them.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was good.
okay, so it's all about the
all good.
producer or
Yeah,
playwright
yeah,
guy, and
yeah,
it's not, you know, who
That's
we're
okay.
chopped liver, Bear.
Yeah. I'm
We're chopped
liver. It's been chopped.
Thank you.
Tell all your friends.
I will. Going on Facebook now.
Oh, great. Thank you. Facebook. That's the new thing, they tell me. This is Charles Strobel, who's our founding director. And Charlie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. What I think is important about this play is that it raises a community awareness. And so whomever you know that might have an interest in coming, it would surely be great, because public policy is never created without community education and community awareness. So we're hoping that this can, again, encourage people to push for the things that we need to solve this terrible problem of subhuman living, which is to live out on the streets like the animals. So we need more affordable housing more than anything. And there's never been an effort that's been serious enough to bring affordable housing through the council to try to get necessary funding to make that happen. So thank you for coming here.
I think once you get past the guilt, it's easier to make a contribution. Just being human with somebody. It's the guilt that stops you. It's like what you said, because you go, I can't give my whole life. I have my life that I'm giving to my family. But once you let the guilt go, that I have this $2, and you can go on. I'll buy this paper, I'll give you $5. Or something else could happen, like what happened with Jim and JJ. I would hope that the play would mean something significant to anyone and everyone who sees it, and that you'll go out and be different. And that's a success for this show, I think, is that you'll be forever different in how you look at people, and maybe even how you deal with your own family.
It's so subjective, and the experience, the individual experience with whatever human being comes your way that presents an opportunity to go, what do I do here? I think probably the number one thing you don't do is walk away and ignore. I think
Anything else you choose to do is engagement, will be to both of your benefits. Even if he turns it into drugs. But it's a risk. And if you're not willing to risk, if you want to do kind of like what the parable in the Bible about the priest and the Levite, and just leave the guy, or the Good Samaritan thing, you just leave the guy in the ditch and say, somebody else's problem, then that's ignoring it. If you want to engage, then you got to be willing to risk.
But you do approach it, because if you have resources, it's like some of the problems he had were just really simple, like he doesn't have any coat to wear. Well, I can fix that. I can get you a coat. And so you get him a coat, and then he doesn't have the coat anymore. And you say, where's your coat? He said, well, I threw it away. I said, why? Well, because it's summer. I don't need a coat in the summer. I'll just get another one next year, because I don't want to carry it around. And that's absolutely right. You don't want to carry a big, heavy coat around in July. So it's kind of understanding that, you know, and
Let me share something with you for a minute and get you next. Let me share something with you. When I came off the streets, I was in my church. I was thinking, anyways, coming from this, and I know people play on me. I'm part of that. And they would come up to my truck because I'm clean. Said, oh, man, how great you doing? You look good, you look good. Get away from my car. And it bothered me. I had to go to my pastor and ask him about this situation. Why am I doing this? And he told me, he said, if you ain't giving it from your heart, don't give it. It don't matter what they do with it after you give it from your heart. And I hear him, and it echoes that way. But I'm not doing it in an anger manner. I had to learn, and I was homeless. And as God cleaned me up, I went back, and a man asked me to give him $1. And I told him to get away from my car. It hurt my spirit. So I had to go to my pastor, because I knew there was something wrong. And he eased me. And I offer hold this one. It don't matter if you give me from your heart what you do with it. It don't matter. Yes, sir.
Jim met JJ on the same corner, in front of Cathedral, every day. It took him years to build that relationship. But when he passed by him, he said hello. And over time, just saying hello, looking someone in the eye, being willing to accept that uneasiness into yourself, and just saying hello. You don't know how a person's going to respond at any time. That's an excellent way to start. Just like you start a conversation with the person sitting next to you, here at the play, or standing in a long line at the grocery store. These guys are no different.
Well, but how does it make you feel as an audience? How do you feel? I mean, you know we're feeling it. So how do you feel?
Bad. What else?
Sad.
What else?
Well, I can see the love.
Love.
And also the need.
Need.
That each of you have for the other.
What else?
So empathy.
Empathy.
did you consider them to be similar?
Yes.
It was hard to tell who was helping who.
Yeah, we've heard that.
That's nice.
It's like, in a room in the inn, it's like Superman with no cape who can't fly, or not faster than a locomotive, can't leap tall buildings, but will let someone come in drunk and say, you can stay here. And that's really a hero. Or people like Jim who will say, okay, come on, and will keep saying, come on. At his funeral, it hit me with so much force that there's so much that we must do, that we are obligated to do. We have a responsibility. The public need is so great. I think we all know that. But there's so many things that keep us from doing it, our day-to-day lives. And I don't think I'll ever look at a homeless person the same way.
Several years before he trusted me enough to let me help him in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it was always, I'm I'm all right, I'm good, we got $1, you know, smiling and happy and, you know, whatever. And he sort of treated everybody that way. And it was only after a long period of time that, and in a declining physical and mental state as it related to him, that he realized that he, you know, needed to have something. And maybe it was just he was playing me, I don't know. There's a lot of that goes on. But I think he was tired.
If you were empowered to literally write public policy and a large check yourself, where, I believe I read an article recently about, you're talking about affordable housing. Is that the very first thing that you think could make the biggest difference in the most numbers of people?
Everybody on the streets of Nashville, 4,000 plus that we estimate they're out there on any given night, if they all present themselves for shelter, we only have about 1,500 shelter spaces. So we're not even creating affordable shelters. You know, so that would be one place to start. The crisis of homelessness, I've said for years, is the crisis of death. In our WDN facility, we have a memorial tree. We have, since we've been open for 27 years, we have over 650 names of individuals on those leaves. Each leaf has a name of an individual who lived and died on the streets, never getting off. And their life expectancy, national studies say that we can expect them to live 48 to 52 years. So we're promised 20 years longer than they are. It's because of this subhuman existence that they're in. We can blame them, and there's plenty of that that's out in our community. But what I love about what Jim has done is that he's created this forum to raise awareness. I would imagine that many of you already have hearts that gravitate toward helping and trying to alleviate the problem. But there are a lot of folks in the community that still have some stereotypical images about in a negative way. And so this play, I hope, raises awareness. Because if you can create public awareness, you can create public policy. And at this point, we don't have the public policy. We've never had Metro Council take up the issue of affordable housing. So that's a long answer, I'm sorry.
You just met Johnny, and he was pretty typical of a lot of folks that you'll find out on the street. So when you see someone, you have an idea now of exactly kind of where they came from and who they are, and maybe why they're there. So if anything can come from the STAMP project, it will be that we'll be able to put more of a face, an individual face on the problem.
We are by no means done, with what we're doing. This is just the beginning. Like in our relationship and friendship, there's always been something more at stake, not just the work. It's always been a higher calling, and the stakes have been much, much higher. And I like that easiness with which we approach those things. I'm appreciative of that.